Hi everyone, hope you are well and safe. Welcome to the final video for tonight, which is for the company Enerkon Solar International Incorporated, which is ticker ENKS. But before doing the video review, the usual disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only providing feedback based on what I see in the chart. In this video, I'll be reviewing the hourly, daily, and weekly charts. The hourly chart provides me with an overview of the anticipated price action over the next day. Daily chart provides me with an overview of what could potentially happen over the next couple of days, and the weekly chart provides me with an overview of what could potentially happen over the next several weeks, which is tailored more towards mid and long-term holders. Now, a reminder that in case of any catalyst or news that is released by the company, then that catalyst or news should take precedence over any technical analysis or charting due to the fact that it will have direct impact on the price action. Okay, so ENKS hourly chart. First of all, closed at 0.575, which is 36.9% higher than the previous trading day. If we compare that to the moving average lines, we'll notice that it closed higher than the 5-hour moving average line, which is 0.49602. Notice that there is a falling trend line right here, quite a long one actually, that it's trying to break through. It hasn't broken through that just yet, but we'll be discussing shortly. Now, if we look at the stochastic RSI, we'll notice that it was in the oversold area. Actually, it had a horizontal line deep inside the oversold area. We'll discuss that in a short bit. But then it managed to actually overtake the signal and push upwards a little bit. But it wasn't very strong, so that's why we didn't see a major increase. However, we do see the green candle right here. It did get weaker a little bit, which is why it retraced and then pushed even further upwards in a bullish manner, and then continued all the way until the overbought area. And notice that it built a horizontal line deep enough inside the overbought area. However, the MACD is still not strong enough. Remember, from my past training and past video reviews, I always say if a horizontal line builds deep inside the overbought area complemented with a very strong bullish MACD, then that's an indication for potential continuation and increase in price. Now, notice right here, the MACD needs definitely further strength. We need larger sizes of dark green histograms in order to allow the blue line to push upwards even further, supporting the horizontal line of the stochastic RSI to push sideways and hopefully crack through that falling trend line and allowing it to run towards the 50-hour moving average line, because it's been actually unable to crack through that falling trend line for quite some time. So let's keep a close eye right here. Last thing we obviously want is for the MACD to start getting once again the light green histograms right here diminishing in size, because that would make it close the gap further with the signal and weaken the stochastic RSI falling below the signal, and the price would retrace as well. Now, if we look at the daily chart, we'll notice that the price actually closed below the 5 days moving average line, which is 0.668660, and below the 50 days moving average line, which is 0.667914. Now, if we look at the stochastic RSI, we'll notice that it was literally playing around in the oversold area. It tried to recover a couple of times. As you can see, it went above the signal. However, it did fall below the signal once again, which is why we had further drops right here. It did test the 200-day moving average line right here. The 200-day moving average line did its job and bounced it back up. And right now, if you notice, there's a slight increase in the stochastic RSI above the signal. I wouldn't say that it's bullish. It is initiating the reversal, and that's why we had this green candle right here. Obviously, the 50-day moving average line and the 5-day moving average line is going to do their job and try to suppress it down as much as it can. So that's going to be a critical area for ENKS. Now, I'd love to see a smaller size of light pinkish histograms diminishing in size. That will allow the blue line to close the gap with the signal, ultimately overtaking the signal and reverting back to dark green histograms, which would further empower the stochastic RSI and pushing upwards, and the price to push as well. Now, the last thing we want is larger size of histograms, reverting it back to dark red, because that would make the blue line fall down even further, weaken the stochastic RSI, and we'll have a retracement in the price. Now, if we look at the weekly chart, we'll notice that the price actually closed below the 5 weeks moving average line, which is $1.247. Noticed in the stochastic RSI it was trying to go bullish, however unfortunately it fell down right here. Weak, I would say weak bearish at this point in time. Notice the side turn right here, which allowed it to recover some of the price. So let's keep a close eye to see whether it will continue moving down in a bearish manner, especially if we have a smaller size of light green histogram, allowing it to close the gap right here, and a retracement of the price would happen ultimately, or it will manage to actually gain larger size of histogram, reverting it back to dark green, allowing the blue line to gain further strength, and for the stochastic RSI to be able to reverse and overtake the signal, just like it did right here actually, or right here. And that will allow it to push the price even further up. Now, given what we know on the daily and the weekly chart, let's look at the hourly chart. So the best case scenario for ENKS is to actually open at a higher price point than what it closed at, which is 0.575. And if it manages to do so, then it has a potential to increase in price. However, once again, this falling trend line is slightly above it right now. It really needs to break through it forcefully, because that falling trend line has been haunting it for quite some time. So if it manages to break through it, then the next resistance will be around 0.647, followed by quite a strong resistance around 0.696, followed by actually 0.709, which will bring it closer to the 50-hour moving average line, which is 0.725439. Let me just look at the daily one last time. Yeah, daily is reversing. So if the daily continues to reverse, and if it manages to crack through that, I wouldn't be surprised that it cracks through the 50-hour moving average line. And the next very strong resistance will be around 0.758, followed by 0.833, followed by 0.882, and then 0.913, and then 0.956, and that will bring it closer to the 200-hour moving average line, which is 0.992863. I'll stop here because I really want to see it crack through the falling trend line comfortably and the 50-hour moving average line. Once again, this will happen if this continues to move sideways horizontally, and the MACD gets stronger, and the daily is very important that it continues to be reversing. Now, if it fails to do so, then it may retrace in price, and there's quite a strong support actually around 0.513, followed by another strong support around 0.495, and then an extremely strong support around 0.4135. And then let's see, the worst case scenario is going to be 0.291 and 7, and that will happen only if the daily turns bearish, if this turns bearish, and if the falling trend line cannot be broken. So that's pretty much it for ENKS. Hope you found value watching this video review, and if you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. And since this is my final video for tonight and for the weekend, I wish you guys all the best for the upcoming week. Hopefully we'll have a bullish week, given all of the reversals that we've witnessed on Friday. Please be careful and prudent and wise when trading in the stock market. Do not overtrade or trade with more than you can afford to lose. Have a good one, folks, and best of luck starting tomorrow. Good night.